Well, freezing pipes exploded at a central Austin apartment complex. Many of those apartments soaked, with the whole complex's water turned off for hours. Fox 7 Austin's Amanda Ruiz is joining us live with that story and tips on how to keep your pipes safe. Amanda.
Mike, according to the Citizens app, there were reported 150 water main breaks just today. Now, residents I spoke to say they were woken up by what they call a waterfall falling out of their residents' balconies.
I was just in bed, I had just woken up, and then the fire alarm started going off. I opened my door and the entire complex alarm was going off, and so, I quickly put on as many layers as I could, and I walked outside, saw a giant waterfall coming down these apartments.
Multiple frozen pipes bursted Monday morning at the Sabina Apartments in central Austin.
We saw people opening up their sliding doors and brooming out water to the side of the balcony. It seemed like the walls got pretty soaked.
Ana Silverio has lived here for a few months. Luckily, she was not affected.
I was pretty terrified because my apartment was right next, that it was going to keep spreading and that we were going to be next.
We've been doing plumbing and air conditioning in Austin since 1999.
Have you seen anything of this magnitude?
No, we've never seen anything like this. There was one 7 years ago that was pretty intense and did a lot of damage, but this one wins for sure.
CEO of Radiant Plumbing and Air Conditioning, Brad Casebeer, says his business usually gets around 100 calls a day. But because of the amount of issues freezing temperatures are causing, that number is now over 1,000.
A lot of heat pump systems aren't working for heating the air. Furnaces that have always worked just aren't working. And then obviously a ton of just frozen pipes.
Casebeer says what happened at the Sabina Apartments is happening across central Texas, so it's important to prepare for the worst case scenario.
It's going to get colder again tonight, and just because you survived last night doesn't mean it won't freeze tonight.
The best advice he says he can give you to avoid having your pipes freeze over is to cover them and leave your faucets on a steady trickle.
The flow, in spite of the intensive cold, can keep things from building up ice and then eventually seizing up.
If your pipes do explode, Casebeer says the water main has to be turned off. And that's what happened at the Sabina Apartments. Residents were without water for a few hours, but luckily that water has been turned back on.
This is no joke. Yeah, all this winter warning, I know that, other parts of the country are probably used to this, but as you can see, Texas was not prepared. And so, I'm just hoping that everybody else can stay safe.
Now, if you do realize that one of your pipes is frozen, grab a hairdryer and start blowing warm air onto the pipe to thaw it. And once that's done, then turn on your faucet and let that drip start to happen. They say that it's going to work great.